When I start talking about narcissism, I swear I go all letter bulimic. There are so many things to talk about, like who they are, how they end up being like that, how we can spot them, can they change, how can they change, how to spot them on the first date, how to spot them on social media. There are a million questions, and I am on a quest to get all the answers. Being a relationship coach, I get so many clients who complain about cheating husbands or cheating wife. That's actually the number one issue, infidelity. And I get people who have complaints about in-laws and exes and liars and so many things. Now, I feel that we can treat situations. We can work through, say, infidelity and start the process of healing. There's always a complaint about a person, or sometimes both complain about each other. But working through those issues are like treating a headache with painkillers. You're not finding the root of the problem, because everything starts with narcissism. That's why I decided to dig into the core of who they are and to expose them to the world, because we all know at least one narcissist. But I want to help you to know at least how to spot them and how they operate and what they're capable of. So I'm answering a question from a lady who asked the following. Hi Kiki, thank you for your guidance on spotting a narcissist. I wasn't quite familiar with it, but now that I know a little more, I realize that I just dated narcissists. How do I spot them on the first date, or at least before I fall in love? Please add this to your list of video topics. I'd love to get an answer from you. I'll keep an eye out. Thanks again. Regards. Sweetie, the fact that you keep on attracting narcissists means only one thing. You are an empath. It's just that. You only see the best in others, and you are the easiest to manipulate. I am so sorry for breaking it to you. You most likely to be codependent. I will do a video on empaths so that you know your characteristics and what it is you attract and why you attract those people and how you can change. Because being an empath is not a bad thing. It's actually a very beautiful, nice characteristic, but only if you end up with someone who does not see your kindness as a weakness. So what I will do, I will split this into two videos. How do I spot them on the first date, or at least before I fall in love? So in this one, we're going to concentrate on the first date. Then we're going to make another video about narcissists and how do you spot a narcissist in a conversation in general. So on a first date, it's very quick to spot them on a first date if you look back and you think, this is progressing a bit too fast. It's like a quick and easy way to spot. Now you have to remember that everything I say is not, it doesn't mean any fast moving relationship is narcissistic. You need a few characteristics, but you have to go look at the characteristics of a narcissist combined with the info that I'm giving you now. So as I said, when that first date progresses so quickly, the reason for that, why they do that, is they basically want to get you to fall in love so quickly so that they can start to manipulate you. So they'll treat you like to fancy restaurants, they send you flowers to work, they almost crowd you. Because when you are in love, you will forgive them for everything else they do wrong, because this now gets them off the hook. So the other thing is when you feel like he's not really my type, but I feel so good around him, like he's a badass, or he has a bad name in town, but now that I got to know him, I see the different side of him. You know what? You have an intuition. Now you want to tell me the whole town is wrong and he is right. If you know this is not the person that you are supposed to date, don't keep dating the dude. Don't get fooled into thinking that this will be how it is forever. Nothing works like that. Your first date and the beginning of your relationship is always so special, and it's butterflies and it's flirting. That's why I always tell people to keep the relationship, like stretch the beginning as long as you can before you dive head first and move in together, and there you go, head on into the relationship. So the other thing is, if the way he treats you leaves no anticipation, you should be concerned. Like any normal person in any relationship will not just jump in and trust this unknown person that they've never met, like a stranger, and they won't spill out their whole life and how they grew up and the friends and the relationships they had. They won't spill their entire personal lives to a perfect stranger. So you need to look out for that. It is good to talk. You ask questions and you talk about your past, but just look out for too much. Also, the narc will spend a great deal of the day talking about themselves, like what they accomplished or who they are, their business, how their friends are looking up to them, where they've traveled. They'll even add in a little story about how they did nothing wrong in a previous relationship that ended. In every breakup, even if the one is to blame, the other one also played a part in it. So no one can ever walk away and say, I did nothing wrong. Even if being too nice was wrong, you did something wrong. So you'll feel by the end of the night that you know everything about this person, but they know nothing about you. And still they'll be charming and flirting, and not all people who's charming and flirting are narcissists. But if you spot all these other traits, it's obvious that this person will have a dash of charm. How long have you been single? It's one of your most important questions that you need to ask. How long have you been single? And then you know what to do with the answer. And a long time is not an answer. Okay, so before I'm done, a quick tip on first dates. We see more of what we focus on. Like a magnifying glass. If you focus on something, it becomes bigger, right? Now, if you go on a date, we usually make lists of all the traits that we want this person to have. He must be tall, dark, and handsome. And he must have a good sense of humor. And he must be a blowball. Had to. He must love pasta, and his mother must be either dead or 1,000 kilos away. So we make these lists. I had a list of 32 things. And then you go to this restaurant on your first date, and you see the guy. He is tall, dark, and handsome. Drop dead gorgeous. He's a blowball. Eerste dates by Panarottis. Sy ma is dood al in 1983. And then you phone your friends and you tell them, I met the one. Maar, jy kyk soveel goed mis. Because you focus on the good characteristics, the rest is not applicable. So then you don't focus on the bad things that he maybe did. So maybe he was rude to the waiter, but you didn't see that because you were concentrating on him eating his pasta. Or his mother that's not here anymore. So what I would recommend is make a list of all the characteristics that you don't want. Like, I don't want someone who talks about himself all night. And I don't want someone who talks about his ex or someone who's rude to the waiter. And then you see if you can go through the evening without him ticking any of those boxes. Because if you concentrate on the negative, you'll actually see the negative traits that he portrays in that night that you would have missed. If you keep focusing on all the good, you're going to miss out on the bad. So this is the best way to go onto your first date. Listen to your intuition. It was given to you for a reason. If something feels off, it probably is. And if it doesn't work out on the first date, you do it the Johnny walk away. Okay, that's enough for this video. Check back soon. I'm going to make more videos that will link to this one. So I will see you soon.